it's Cornell. What's he doing? Watching. Watching what? You're watching WiCkNeY Kids. Keep playing. Okay. We'll get it right sooner or later.
Okay, so what do I do?
Like this. Try it again.
You're a tough teacher. So here I go. One.
That's good. That was great. You did it.
And now some scenes from our coming attraction.
Hi! Hi!
Stars.
Mr. Rogers is coming to our school tomorrow. Yippee!
Drama.
I hate
Action.
Buster, wake me up. I'm having a nightmare.
That's a load off my mind. Watch Arthur, now playing on a TV set near you. Weekday afternoons at 3:30.
Theodore, he's a tugboat and a friendly tugboat too. A friendly tugboat too. Oh, Theodore likes to do the things that friendly tugboats do.
But the tugs can't bring your tanker in right now. Well, how do you like that? Hung up on me. How unfriendly. Oh, hello there. Well, I'm having a few problems here today. Come on, I have to go outside for just a minute. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, she's out there all right. Big oil tanker. You know, the person in charge at the refinery keeps phoning me saying, bring her in, bring her in. But all the tugs they're all very busy today, so everybody's going to have to wait their turn. Between you and me, the person at the refinery isn't being very friendly at all. You know, Emily had a problem like this just the other day. Oh, there was a ship that wasn't being very friendly to her. Now, let me see if I can remember what she did. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. One summer night, Emily and Theodore were floating home together, just talking about this and that. Did I ever tell you about the time I was in Africa? Said Emily. No, replied Theodore. Oh, please do, Emily. Theodore loved talking with Emily. It felt so nice to talk with his friend. Well, began Emily, I was sent to Africa to bring back a ship who had broken her engine, and suddenly a bright, shiny light streaked across the sky. What's that? Said Emily. Shooting star, said Theodore. It's too big to be a star, gasped Emily. Look, said Theodore. The bright, shiny light suddenly seemed to fall right into the ocean not far from the big harbor. The tugs were silent for a long moment after that. Emily, said Theodore, finally, in a very quiet voice, that was the strangest thing. The tugs were gathered at the great ocean dock. The dispatcher was just giving out the jobs for the day when a very surprising visitor appeared. The dispatcher was the first to see her. Tugboats, he announced. We have a guest this morning. Constance, whispered George in a small voice, most unlike his usual booming self. Now, all the tugs had seen Constance, the Coast Guard ship, before, but no one had ever actually talked to her. She always seemed very serious and very important. Good morning, Constance, said the dispatcher. And then he turned to the tugs with a look that said, be on your best behavior. Good morning, Constance, the tugs said politely. Good morning, replied Constance briskly. And then she stopped before Emily. Emily, she said, I would like you to meet me at the harbor entrance later. I have a special job for you. Emily was surprised. She turned to the dispatcher to see if that was all right. That's fine, Emily, said the dispatcher. I will have another tugboat do your harbor job today. Excuse me, Constance, said Emily, turning to Constance. What will we be doing? But Constance didn't answer Emily's question. She was already heading off. Well, that's the second strange thing that's happened lately, said Theodore quietly. First, that bright, shiny light last night, and now, this. The Tugs couldn't stop talking about Constance. I wish Constance had told me what my special job is, said Emily. Constance is our Coast Guard, said Fodak in a serious voice. That means she's in charge of guarding our ocean. Maybe she's on a secret mission and needs you to help her. She probably needs you for something important. Still, said Theodore quietly, she left before she could answer Emily's question. She doesn't seem very friendly. The others said nothing, but inside they all agreed with Theodore. Constance didn't seem very friendly. Emily caught up with Constance near the entrance to the harbor. Constance set off without a word, and Emily followed behind, feeling more and more puzzled. Excuse me, Constance, called Emily, trying to catch up. Where are we going? No time to talk, Emily, called Constance above the drum of her powerful Coast Guard engine. We have important work to do. Emily could see they were passing the last marker buoy in the harbor. So we're going out in the ocean, she said to herself. Emily forgot all about her questions. This will be like an adventure, she thought. Constance led Emily quite a ways along the coast, getting further and further from the harbor. Finally, Constance turned away from the shore and headed out towards the open ocean. Not too long after that, Constance slowed her engine and announced, "It should be near here." Then she began searching the water. What should be near here? Are you looking for something? Said Emily. What is it? I mean, would you like me to help you find it? I'll tell you about it later, said Constance quickly. But right now, I'm very busy. Just float quietly. Suddenly, Emily saw something. It was floating in the water just ahead. Constance! Constance! She called. Constance headed over immediately. That is just a piece of driftwood, said Constance. It is not what I'm looking for. Well, maybe if you told me what to look for, Emily started to say. I already told you, interrupted Constance, to float quietly. Now I have a lot of work to do. Well, Emily was beginning to get very upset, and she could feel her engine getting hotter and hotter. I was only trying to help, she said quietly. But Constance was already searching again with that busy look of hers. Emily couldn't help agreeing with what Theodore had said. Constance really didn't seem very friendly. Not very friendly at all. Back in the harbor, Theodore and Hank were heading home from work. Theodore turned and gazed sadly toward the ocean. It's getting late, he said. We still haven't heard from Emily. She must be very busy with Constance, said Hank. Theodore was getting more and more concerned about Emily. But right now, it seemed there was nothing to be done but wait. Wait and worry about Emily. The sun was beginning to sail over the edge of the ocean, and Emily was still floating after Constance, who was still searching and searching. Hurry, said Constance. It'll be dark soon, and we must find it. Then Emily saw something floating in the water. Now, Emily didn't want to talk. She didn't want to upset Constance again. And maybe, thought Emily, this was just another piece of driftwood. But it didn't look like a piece of driftwood. It had brightly colored markings, and it was very big. Constance, called Emily. I see something. What is it, Emily? Replied Constance. There's something floating in the water, replied Emily, staring towards the brightly marked thing. Constance headed over to the thing without a word. Then she called to Emily. You found it. Come and tie your tow line onto it. Emily floated over and saw that the brightly marked thing was really a rocket floating in the water. This rocket must have been the bright, shiny thing Theodore and I saw in the sky last night, Emily thought to herself. It tumbled down to earth, all in flames. Where did it come from, Constance? Asked Emily. Who does it belong to? I mean, where are we taking it? In all her excitement, Emily forgot about how upset she felt at Constance. All I have time to tell you, replied Constance, is that this rocket is very important. It's part of a spaceship, and I need you to help me get it back to the harbor as soon as we can. Emily had put the rocket on her deck and was following along behind Constance as fast as she could go. She's not friendly. She's not friendly. She's not friendly, Emily repeated to herself. They still had a long way to go, and the sun was almost down. Faster, Emily, called Constance. Now, the rocket was heavy, and it was hard for Emily to carry. She wanted to slow down and catch her breath a little. Emily, it was Constance, the rocket is slipping off your deck. I tried to tie it on properly, Emily started to say, but you were in a big hurry and... No time to talk now, said Constance. Just tie the rocket back on, quickly. Well, Emily was tired of chasing after Constance, and she was tired of carrying the heavy rocket, but most of all, she was tired of not being able to talk. Her face felt hot, and she wanted to shout out loud. Slowly, she turned to face Constance. Why are you stopping? Demanded Constance. We are late. I am not doing another thing till you say please, replied Emily in a steady voice. Well, Constance didn't say anything. I tried to tell you I didn't have time to tie the rocket on properly, but you were in a big hurry, Emily continued. And now you're upset with me because we're late. Well, maybe the other tugboats are afraid to talk to you, but I'm not. You're not very friendly. Well, it seems you could hear the silence all the way back to the big harbor. Constance slowly turned to face Emily. Emily floated firmly in her place, but inside, everything seemed to be moving very fast. What would Constance say? Well, what Constance said was the most surprising thing. Do you really think I'm not friendly? Said Constance. She sounded a little hurt. Well, Emily didn't say anything. I always have a lot of important work to do, continued Constance, getting her busy-sounding voice back a little. I don't have time to be friendly. Being friendly doesn't take any time at all, replied Emily. And being friendly is important to me. Emily felt like Constance was staring right through her, but still, she floated where she was. Emily the Vigorous, said Constance, her engine rumbling. You are a very hard-headed young tugboat, and you are the first tugboat to ever talk back to me like this. Again, Emily didn't say anything. She looked Constance straight in the eye. You remind me of myself when I was younger, concluded Constance. I like you. You do? Said Emily. She was so surprised she almost laughed out loud. I do, said Constance. And I'm glad you spoke up just now. I really don't mean to be unfriendly. Sometimes I am a bit bossy. Then she smiled and said, now, will you please get going? Well, Emily had to smile too. Okay, Constance, she said. Just let me pull this rocket back up on my deck. The sun had almost set, and Theodore had almost given up waiting for Emily to come home. When suddenly he saw her returning to the harbor with Constance. Theodore rushed out to greet his friend. Emily! Emily! I missed you! Where have you been? What's that on your deck? Emily glanced at Constance. She knew Constance was in a hurry. I'll tell you all about it tomorrow, she whispered to Theodore. Suddenly, Theodore realized he was floating right in front of Constance, blocking her way. Oh, I'm sorry, Constance, said Theodore nervously. But Emily is my friend, and well, I missed her. Emily is my friend, too, replied Constance. And I think we might have a little time to talk about this rocket right now. Well, Constance began to tell the tugs about how the rocket came to land in the ocean outside the big harbor. And I'll tell you something really interesting. Somehow, as the tugs moved closer to listen to her story, Constance forgot all about being in a hurry or being important. All she could think of was how nice it felt to have new friends to talk to in the big harbor. Of course, Emily and Theodore felt the same way. You know, sometimes you just have to speak up when someone's upsetting you. Now, that's that unfriendly person from the oil refinery. I just know he's going to complain about his oil tanker not having arrived yet. Well, this time, I'm going to speak up, just like Emily. You are being very rude, and I'm not going to talk to you anymore until you say please. Oh, hi, Mom. What a surprise. This is going to take a little while to explain, I'm afraid. Thanks for visiting us here in the Big Harbor, and we'll see you all again next time. No, Mom, I didn't mean that you were being rude.
Theodore.
There's another story coming right up, and you can always learn more about Theodore Tugboat on the internet. Find us through PBS Online.
Pushing and a pulling in the great big harbor, in the great big world is so much fun. So many brand new things to discover. Waking with the sun, gotta get the job done. Oh, Theodore and Emily, Bodak, Hank and George, and the harbor master too.
Oh, hello there. You know, I think I'll give my binoculars a rest today. But I can still keep track of everything that's going on in the Big Harbor. I don't always have to use my eyes. I can use my ears. Shh. Listen. Do you hear that? That's the sound of a large ocean freighter telling everyone she's ready to leave the harbor and head for the open sea. And that's one of my favorite sounds. See, that's the answering toots of the tug saying, "We're ready. We'll guide you safely out." And there's seagulls calling goodbye. I love to listen. But did you know that listening takes practice? Oh, yes. And if I forget to practice my listening, I forget how. The tugboats can tell you about that. See, they remember a time here in the Big Harbor when listening was in very short supply. It started out much like any other day. The tugboats were gathered at the Great Ocean Tug and Salvage Company dock, waiting for the dispatcher to give out their jobs for the day. "Fodak," said the dispatcher, "report with Petra to dry dock to move a ship." As usual, the tugs answered yes, with 2 toots of their horns. "Emily and George, you're needed at Dock 7 right away to take out a tanker with Pearl." George's toots were a bit louder than usual. "Theodore and Hank, wait near the dock until needed," said the dispatcher. "If there are any questions, ask your pilot boat. That is all for now." The dispatcher was finished. Theodore and Hank were disappointed. Well, they didn't want to wait. They wanted to do something. Just then, the pilot boats, Pearl and Petra, arrived. Emily wanted to ask a question. "Excuse me, Pearl, Petra," Emily called after them. "I wonder if..." But the pilots were already sailing away. Emily sighed. "I wanted to ask the name of the ship we're supposed to take out." "No time for questions," trumpeted George, acting very much like a pilot boat. "We've got our jobs. Let's go do them." Hank and Theodore had to laugh. Even Emily managed to smile. "All right," she said. "I'm coming." When the others had gone, Hank and Theodore waited. "Do you want to practice working in the harbor with me, Theodore?" Hank asked. "I guess so," said Theodore, although he really wanted to be out in the harbor with the others. "Good," said Hank. "You be the tugboat, and I'll be the pilot boat." Hank tried to sound like a pilot boat. "Yes, young Theodore, the dispatcher would like you to help at dock 602. Or was that dock 206? Anyway, go to a dock and help a ship leave. Or was that help a ship arrive?" Theodore began to giggle. Hank started to sail off, and Theodore called after him. "Wait, I'd like to ask a question, please, Mr. Pilot Boat." But Hank, the pretend pilot boat, answered, "I'm sorry, but I don't answer questions." "No questions, but why not?" asked Theodore. Hank was quick to answer. "Aha, but that's a question, and I can't answer questions." But Theodore was still curious. "Please, Mr. Pilot Boat, why can't I ask questions? I mean, if I knew more, maybe I could save time and do a better job. Why won't you ever listen?" Well, Hank was getting dizzy with all of Theodore's questions. He didn't want to be a pilot boat anymore. "I don't know, Theodore," he replied. "I'm not a real pilot boat. Maybe they're just too busy to listen to tugboats." Theodore was silent for a moment, and then he said quietly, "But that's not fair." The next morning, Theodore was determined to talk to the pilot boats and get them to listen. "Good morning, tugboats," said the dispatcher. "This is a very busy day. George and Emily, report to Chebucto Head. There's an oil tanker arriving in port." "Fodak," continued the dispatcher, "you and Hank report to Dry Dock 3 to dock a damaged freighter." Hank was very excited. Oh, work at last. One toot is enough, Hank, whispered Foduck. That is all for today, finished the dispatcher. If you have any questions, please ask your pilot boat. Well, just then, Pearl arrived. At last, here was Theodore's chance to ask a question. Excuse me, Pearl, said Theodore. Ah, Theodore. Since the dispatcher does not have a job for you, you can go to the warehouse on Dock 3 and bring back a fresh supply of tow ropes. Yes, thank you, Pearl, I will. But first, I was wondering if... Pearl was already sailing off to catch up with Emily and George. Theodore felt upset. Maybe I should ask Petra, he thought. Maybe she has time to listen. Theodore was just on his way to get those tow ropes at Dock 3 when he saw Petra at a nearby dock. Oh, she doesn't look too busy, Theodore thought to himself. So he sailed up to face her. Excuse me, please, Petra, could I ask... Oh, Theodore, said Petra. The dispatcher just called me on the radio. He needs a tug to sail out to the entrance of the harbor and replace marker buoy 6. It's in need of repair. But Theodore knew he already had a job to do, collecting tow ropes from the warehouse. Petra turned to go. Theodore had to talk fast. I would like to replace the buoy, Petra, but Pearl already gave me... Petra spoke again. I have to get going, Theodore. Foduck's ready to dock that ship. We can talk when you're finished. Poor Theodore. Petra wouldn't listen. What should he do now? How could he do both jobs at the same time? I must find Pearl and explain, he thought, and hurried off. Theodore found Pearl at the fueling dock, but she seemed in more of a rush than ever. Theodore took a deep breath and began to speak, but before he could say a word, Pearl turned quickly from the dock and almost bumped right into him. Oh, Theodore, she cried. You must watch where you're going. And before Theodore could reply, Pearl continued. Theodore, someone has left an empty garbage barge at Dock 2. The dispatcher would like it brought back to its proper dock. And then Pearl hurried off so she wouldn't be late guiding in the oil tanker with George and Emily. But, thought Theodore as he spun about in confusion, another job. Now he had 3 jobs. Whatever would he do? A while later, the tugboats gathered back at the great ocean dock. Are all jobs complete? Asked the dispatcher. Emily, George, Hank, and Foduck all tooted their whistles. Very good, said the dispatcher, but he sensed that all was not right. And what about the damaged marker buoy? Has it been replaced? I sent Theodore for that, said Petra, who had just arrived. But when the dispatcher looked around, Theodore was nowhere to be seen. Just then, Pearl also appeared. But I sent Theodore to move a barge, she said. 2 jobs at once, said the dispatcher. Petra was confused. Pearl? You sent Theodore on a job this morning? Pearl nodded to herself. Yes, I sent Theodore. I didn't know he had another job. And then she said, oh dear, I just remembered. I gave him another job before that, getting tow ropes. 3 jobs at once, said the dispatcher. But if he had too much to do, said Pearl, why didn't he just tell us? Hank moved forward. He tried to tell you, said Hank. But Petra said, I don't remember that he told me, nor me, added Pearl. Hank gathered his courage and continued to speak. Theodore has been trying to ask you a question since yesterday. What question? Asked Pearl. Well, the other tugs looked just as upset as Hank. Hank spoke again. Theodore wanted to know why you never listened to any of us. We will certainly talk more about this later, announced the dispatcher, who was very concerned. But right now, there is a container ship coming in and a damaged marker buoy in the harbor. That means there is nothing to warn the ship about the sharp rock. The tugs and pilots went off to warn the ship and bring her in. Everyone was very worried about that rock, and Theodore. Where could he be? Now, at several places near the mouth of the harbor, there are floating buoys marking dangerous areas. Buoy number 6, whose name is Blandford, marks the spot of a large, jagged underwater rock. Theodore was floating along, thinking it seemed like the pilot boats didn't care about what he did. If they did, they would know that 3 jobs at the same time were 2 too many. It was very hard being a tugboat in the big harbor when no one listened. "What was that?" he said aloud. "I hit a rock." Then he noticed the marker buoy. "Number 6, he said. It had drifted off its spot, and its light wasn't working. "This must be the damaged buoy I was supposed to replace." Theodore heard a deep, deep horn, and he knew right away what it was. A ship, a big ship, entering the big harbor. The fog was rolling in, and he couldn't see her, but he knew she'd be heading straight for the dangerous, jagged rock. As a tugboat, Theodore knew that doing your job was the most important thing, and right now, his job was making the harbor safe for the ship. He heard the ship's horn, closer now, and he could just make out her shape through the thick fog. Sure enough, she was heading straight for the terrible rock, and there was no time for Theodore to get another marker buoy to warn her away. Meanwhile, the other tugs and the pilots were racing toward the harbor mouth. They could hear the great ship approaching the jagged rock. "It's all because of us," said the pilots. "All because we didn't listen." The container ship was just about to hit the rock she couldn't see, when she heard the sound of 3 loud toots through the fog. And then she saw a light. It must be a marker buoy, thought the ship. And then she realized that she was heading straight for it. The other tugs and pilots arrived just in time to see the big container ship slowly begin to turn, turning away from the dangerous rock. "It looks like the marker buoy is working after all," shouted Pearl. The tugs floated in for a closer look. "It's not a buoy," said Hank. "It's Theodore!" "Oh, hi, everybody," said Theodore, as calm as a clam. Well, the tugs let out a great cheer. Theodore had saved the ship. Petra examined Theodore's load. "And you got the tow ropes." The tugs saw a pile of tow ropes on Theodore's deck. "I'm sorry I haven't moved the barge yet," said Theodore. "I was going to do that next." "Oh, that's okay, Theodore," said Petra. Then Pearl made an announcement. "Theodore, you've been very brave. We're proud of you, and we apologize for not listening. From now on, we promise to talk about all of the work in the harbor. Talk and listen. We promise," added Petra. "Now let's get this ship in," said George. And with that, the tugs and the pilots set off to work. "I'll go get another marker buoy so you can come back and tell us what happened," called Hank. "I'll bet everyone will want to listen."
Well, I must say, I think everyone listens very well now. You hear that? That's one of the most important sounds in the whole harbor. That's the lunch whistle, and I'm hungry. Well, thanks for dropping by. We'll see you again next time here in the big harbor. Let me see what I've got. I got a banana and an apple.
Theodore, he's a tugboat and a friendly tugboat too. A friendly tugboat too. Oh, Theodore and Emily, Kodak, Hank and George and the harbor master too.
This is PBS.
It's time to
Check it out.
And here's your happening host, Pete.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm happy to have you here for another edition of Check It Out, where every day is a red letter day, and today's red letter is...
A, aquarium. A small glass tank of water that goldfish live in, or a big one that whales live in. Which fish would you like to see there?
Well, that's it for now, and remember, if there's anything you need to know, all you have to do is...
Check it out! Yeah!
You're watching WiCkNeY Kids. Let's try mixing colors. What do yellow and blue make? Green, like a frog. What do red and yellow make? Orange, like a butterfly. What do blue and red make? Purple, a violet. Let's add green leaves. Now, what happens when we mix a flower, a butterfly, and a frog? Uh-oh.
Attention, all you detectives out there! Be on the lookout for this girl. Her name is Whimsy, and she could be in your neighborhood. You can usually see her with her daycare friends, Horace, Jonas, and Lulu. Oh, almost forgot. And her little brother, Bo. And the best place to start looking for her is at Whimsy's house. I should know. My name is Whimsy.
Weekday mornings at 11.
Zoobalee Zoo is underwritten by Hallmark. Hallmark is pleased to bring you the very best in children's television programming.
Everyone up, everyone in. Time for the fun to begin. Come along with us to Zoobalee Zoo. Zoobalee Zoo. Magic and wonder are waiting for you. It's as close as a dream and as bright as the brightest blue. Welcome to Zoobalee Zoo. Let's introduce the Zoobles to you.
I'm Mayor Ben. I'm here to lend a helping hand.
I'm Bill the Beaver, playing the things on command. There's daring and adventure when lookout comes to call.
And a kangaroo named Woodrow who puts music to it all.
My name is Bango. Just color me fun, and you will shout bravo once the show has begun.
Everyone, spread the news. There'll be so much to see and do. Just see our cartoon.
When you're in Zoobalee, 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 Zoobalee Zoo, magic and wonder are waiting for you. So come on with us now and discover the wonder of you. Welcome to Zoobalee Zoo.
Closed caption made possible by General Foods Corporation.
Hello, Zoobaroos, and welcome to Zoobalee Zoo. I'm Mayor Ben, the Zoobal's top cat. And I'm here to give you some Zoobal facts. I'll tell you now what a Zoobal is, and I'll try to explain in a snap, bang, whiz. A 1, 2, 3, a 4, 5, 6. A Zoobal is full of magical tricks. Zoobals are friends that are very best kind. They are the first ray of spring sunshine. When it's dark and you're scared at night, the Zoobals are the hands that'll turn on the light. Zoobals are music. Zoobals are art. Zoobals are the good thing to feel in your heart. That, my friends, is in this tale, with the exception of one detail, one small thing.
Tell us, Ben.
One very small thing.
Tell us, Ben.
One teeny-weeny, tiny-weeny, itsy-bitsy, very small thing. When it's all said and done, a Zoobal is
trouble. What's up with those funny pants you got on?
Oh, these aren't funny pants, was that? These are Western-style chaps. I wear them in my latest production. I entitle it The Old West.
What's that? It's not a what, was that? It's a where. The Old West was where they had cowboys and Indians, pioneers and covered wagons, and old prospectors looking for gold.
Can we go, huh? Can we talk it to?
No, I'm afraid not. That was a long time ago. We'd have to travel backwards in time, and that's quite impossible.
Oh, that's too bad.
But I'm portraying the Old West in my play. And I tell you what, I'll let you write the music for it.
Oh, really? Look at all the words to her music.
Splendid. Now, let me set the scene for you. It takes place in the Old West, in a small town. I play the hero, of course, Tex Trueheart, and we see me riding into town. And I'm on my horse, and I'm galloping.
Come on, Mango. Oh, there she is. Oh, Bill, you call this weird-looking contraption your greatest invention?
I sure do.
Well, what is it? It's a time machine. A time machine? You mean this thing can take someone forward into the future and backward into the past? You got it, Mango. You know what, Bill? Read my lips. I don't believe you.
Well, you're gonna, now that I've invented this little rascal here. Uh-oh. Well, I still need a little bit of work on it, but it's pretty close to being done.
Well, I'll say it needs a little work. Look, Bill, I've got some work to do myself, some artwork. I'll see you later.
Artists, what do they know about inventions? Huh?
Hey, what's that noise?
Oh.
What's that?
Oh, it's my time machine, was that? It's the kind of machine that can take you all the way to the future where things haven't happened yet, or all the way into the past where they happened a long time ago.
That's impossible. Talkatoo says so.
It's not impossible now, not since I've invented this little puppy.
Oh, wow, really? You mean that I could go back into the Old West if I wanted to, huh?
That's why this thing is here.
Oh, wow. Talkatoo! Oh, Talkatoo!
Coming. What's the matter?
Well, Bill says that this can take me back into the Old West, and I want to go.
Billy, telling whoppers like that to innocent young Zoobalee. You know perfectly well it's impossible to travel through time.
No, it is not impossible, and I'm going to prove it to you. Get in.
Me? You must be joking.
No, I'm not joking. Anyway, I need a volunteer to test out the machine, and I thought that I'm very sweet of you, Wazat, but you're a little bit too young for this kind of an experiment.
Oh, Zooble Stick, that's all I ever hear. I'm too young for this. I'm not old enough for that. Yada, yada.
Now, when it comes to building and inventing things, Bill the Beaver is zooberific. But as all the Zoobles know, sometimes his inventions don't work out the way they're supposed to. Now, do you suppose that there's one Zooble who's brave enough to fly his new machine through time and space? I wonder.
All right. Places, everyone, places.
Okay.
Now let me set the scene. The place is an old cattle ranch in the West. And I play the hero, of course. Tex Trueheart, thank you. And you, Talkatoo, play my wife, Bessie, all right?
Yeah.
And you'll be playing my darling little daughter, Liza. Oh, and you'll also be responsible for all of the music and sound effects, so be prepared.
Gotcha.
All right. Now, as the scene opens, it is a cold and wintry night. The wind is shrieking around the ranch house. It shrieks and the wind is shrieking around the ranch house. Shrieking wind, was that?
Here.
Bessie speaks.
Oh, I do hope my poor husband isn't lost in the snow. If he doesn't come home soon with the money, that evil land grabber, Murdoch McNasty, will take our ranch away from us.
What's that? That's your cue. That's your cue.
Oh, don't worry, Mother of mine. Daddy will save you.
Suddenly, there is a knocking at the door. Oh, wait. it. That's a doorbell. Knocking at the door.
It's me, Murdoch McNasty.
Wait. What's that? He's the villain, not the hero. Blues and hisses.
Sorry, Bravo. See you in a... Okay.
Betsy speaks.
Oh, no! It's that mean and heartless, no good, no low down villain, Murdoch McNasty!
That's right, Bessie. And if you don't pay up the money you owe me, the ranch will be mine. And I'm going to throw you and little Liza out into the snow.
Oh! What was that?
Oh, that was the sound of Mommy landing in the snow.
Oh.
Oh, please, Mr. McNasty! You can't throw us out on a cold and windy night like this. We have no place to go.
Don't worry, Mother of mine. You will be saved. I know you will.
And how can you be sure?
Because I remember the story talk, too.
Oh, Huck! I think I hear your dear father coming now. I distinctly hear the sound of hoofbeats.
I don't hear anything. Oh, hoofbeats.
Oh, boy. This is my big entrance.
Oh, no. That's reindeer. What do I do with the hoofbeats? Oh, here they are.
Whoa, horsey! Whoa, horse! What's that? I said whoa! It is I, Tex Trueheart. Food? Kisses? What's that? I'm the hero, not the bad guy.
Sorry, Bro.
Becca. You have threatened my brave little family for the last time, McNasty. Get off my ranch.
It's my ranch now, Tex. That is, of course, unless you plan to pay me the money you owe me.
The money?
Catch! Good catch, Bro.
Thanks. Here's your money, you scoundrel. Now get out before I throw you out into the snow.
Curses, foiled again.
Ooh.
Oh, my hero!
Applause, was that? Applause? No, not us. The audience. Just pull the curtain.
This?
Pull the curtain. Pull it. No.
Well, there she is. Look out. Ready to fly. Ready to roam the whole universe of time and space.
Boy, Bill, what an invention. You've really outdoubled yourself this time.
You can say that again.
Boy, you've really outdoubled yourself this time.
Thanks a lot. Now, all I need is someone to fly her. Someone who's an adventurer, someone who's brave and not afraid of
Bill, I'm your bear.
Really?
Yeah.
You go?
Oh, boy, to the Old West? Oh, absolutely.
Well, get in. I'll show you how she works.
Okay.
All right,
Hi,
she's got
guys,
a lot
what
of
you doing?
switches. Well, actually, we're having a practice run before Lookout takes my time and space machine for a spin to the Old West.
Oh, well, can I watch?
Well, sure. Watch this. First thing I have to do is I have to set the time meter to the Old West. A good date would be 1870? 1870. Then I have to set the place meter for... What's that? Don't touch that. That's the launch button.
I guess we can get to go to the Old West after all.
Maybe not, was that? Bill didn't teach me how to fly this thing. Oh.
They're gone.
Can you believe it? Was that accidentally launched the time and space machine? And before Bill had a chance to set it for the Old West. I wonder if we'll ever see them in Zoobalee Zoo again.
Maid? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, but I'm so cold. Gosh, if this is the Old West, where's the warm sunshine and the cowboys and the cattle? All I see, look out, is ice and snow.
Yeah, something's wrong with that. With all this ice, this couldn't be the West. This looks more like the North Pole.
What's that?
The North Pole is the very tip top of the world, where it's always the coldest.
Whatever it is, it's much too cold for us Zooboats.
Can't stay here or we're gonna freeze.
Gosh, what do we do?
I gotta get this machine going again.
Oh, can I help?
No, you better leave everything to me, was that? You're too young to know about these things.
Oh, Zoobatics, that's all I ever hear.
Bill, what happened? What went wrong, Bill?
Well, gosh, nothing went wrong exactly. You see, Lookout wanted to go to the Old West, so he used my time and space machine. So there I was, setting the time dial for 1870, which is a really great time in the Old West. And then I was setting the space dial for somewhere in the Old West. And then Wazat, who was just there to watch, pushed this button, which happened to be the launch button, and poof, pop, zooey, they were gone.
Gone? Gone where?
I don't know.
Oh, Phil, this is awful. Awful, Phil. My friends. Bill, may I borrow your dinky? Your hanky, please. Thank you.
No, I'm talking to. We've got to stay calm. If I can just get Lookout on this monitor, I could tell him how to turn the power on the time and space machine, and I can send him back home.
I have an idea.
Later, was that? I'm trying to figure out these controls.
Okay, but I was just thinking that maybe if we want to go home, maybe we could reverse the controls.
Please, was that? I know you want to help, but did you say reverse the controls?
But you probably thought of that, huh?
Well, not exactly. But it's a great idea.
Oh,
just might work.
Oh, gosh, look out, look. 2 white bears in white furry coats. Maybe they're your cousins. Maybe they'll invite us to lunch. I'm hungry.
What's that? What's that? Those aren't my cousins. Those are polar bears. And if they see us, we'll be the lunch.
Look, Tuckatoo, I found them. They're not in the Old West. They're way up at the North Pole.
Oh, those poor things. They must be half frozen by now.
Wazat, Lookout, can you hear me? Get back in the time and space machine and hurry. There's a polar bear coming your way.
We know.
Hurry.
Lookout, listen. First, you've got to reverse all the panel controls.
Oh, we already did that, Bill.
Hey, you're pretty smart. Now push the red button, and off you go.
Okay, here we go. It's not working, Bill. Nothing's happening.
He's coming.
I'm afraid your landing damaged the hypersonic coupling oscillator.
Huh?
What's that?
That's what made that high-pitched sound you heard when you took off. That sound triggers the hypersonic power drive, like the starter of a car. But without that sound, well...
I can make that sound.
You can?
Listen.
Well, it's worth a try, Wazat. Go ahead.
Working. Oh, boy.
Look, Wazat did it. Get out of their way.
They're coming.
They're coming.
Cheers for what's that? Zip, zip, hooray! Zip, zip, hooray! Zip, zip, hooray!
Boy, it's a good thing I have my little piano with me. They said if it wasn't for me, we wouldn't have made it back to Zoobalee Zoo. Oh, if it wasn't for my little piano, I mean. My friends call me was a kangaroo. Music's
one adventure that Lookout will remember for the rest of his life. And as for courageous Wazat, she showed us it isn't how big you are, but who you are that counts. And as for Bill, well, he's just glad that his time and space machine works, even though it doesn't go where it is supposed to. Now, you'll excuse me, because there's a big celebration in Zoobalee Zoo tonight. We're honoring our Zooblenauts, and I've got to get ready for the fun.
The Zooble clock is telling me it's time for us to go. But before we do, there's something I want you all to know. The road that leads to Zoobalee Zoo is always there inside of you, no matter where you are. If you just believe you're never far from Zoobalee Zoo. Zoobalee Zoo. Magic and wonder are waiting for you. So come on with us now and discover the wonder of you. Welcome to Zoobalee Zoo.
Zoobalee Zoo, Zoobalee Zoo. Magic and wonder are waiting for you. It's as close as a dream, and as bright as the brightest blue. See you in Zoobalee Zoo.
Distributed by the SFM Entertainment Division of SFM Media Corporation. Zoobalee Zoo is underwritten by Hallmark. Hallmark is pleased to bring you the very best in children's television programming.
To receive a free copy of the Zoobalee Zoo Parents Guide, call 1-888-850-3236 or write to the address you see on the screen.
Bango? I'm afraid this is 2 inches too long.
Not a problem, was
Okay,
that?
there it is.
Boy, that's your third trip today.
I know.
You've been as busy as a beaver.
No, well, I'm just so excited about the new Zoobalee Zoo opening. I've been working enough for 2 Wazats. 1, 2.
Well, you know, you might have to wait a little while longer. The opening's not until noon. Oh, you know what they say. Patience is a virtue.
Who's they?
Good point.
Hey, do you need some help?
Yeah, please. A thumb right there. Uh-huh. Say, what's that?
What?
Ever had to wait a long time for something?
Well, once I had to wait a whole year for Christmas.
Oh, was it worth the wait?
Boy, was it. I got a Zoobalee pepper doll.
Wow.
And her horse Winifred. And I got an iron-on pair of musical 8th notes that I'm wearing. See? Oh,
Take another break. Well, you know, was that you gotta remember, patience is a virtue.
Hey, look at you, little bud. Oh, you know, I know just how you feel. I keep dreaming of the day when I'll be a grown-up. But Van Gogh says patience is a shirt, too. I mean, a virtue. Zooble sticks. The new Zoobalee Zoo won't be ready until tomorrow. I guess we'll just both have to wait.
No more tears, no time for crying.
not from my sweet one. Lend your ears, let's practice flying. I know you know how it's done. The magic is inside you. The words don't mean nothing. The magic, it will guide you. So take wings. Have no fears, just keep on trying. Don't be shy, my love. Nothing nears a satisfying sweeping slide through skies above. The magic is inside you. There's nowhere that you can't ride. The magic, it will guide you as you glide through the sky. Ain't no cloud too high if you got the magic inside. The magic is inside you. There's no way that you can fail. The magic, it will guide you. Let it billow out like a sail. Fly you far and wide on the wings of the magic here inside.
Van Gogh, I'm flying! You're watching WiCkNeY Kids!
And when I say on your marks, get set, go, then you go. On your marks, get set, go!
You're watching WiCkNeY Kids.
Your child's mind. What's going on in there? Yikes! Fill it with good stuff. Okay, everybody. Like Sesame Street. You know, the more they watch Sesame Street now, the better they'll do in school. Even years later. Yep. Sesame Street powers kids for life.
Weekday mornings at 9.
You're watching WiCkNeY Kids. This is fun. The wishbone.
Hey, Sonny, don't you know what time it is?
Sure, Elmer. It's time for the girls and boys out there to see what great fun we all have here in Pappyland. Picture, do your stuff. Are you ready for exciting adventures in drawing and coloring? And would you like to sing and dance? Then get your paper, pencil, and crayons and join me here on WiCkNeY Kids.
Weekday mornings at 7:30.
You're watching WiCkNeY Kids. What is it? It's sticky.
Feels pretty gross. It could be worms. No, very slimy. Or it could be snakes. An octopus. A plain old eel. As thick as mermaid hair. Big chunks of... Oh, I know. It's a crab. Creepy crawlers. It's all how you look at it.
Funding for Barney and Friends is made possible in part by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and viewers like you, and by
Chuck E. Cheese's.
Where a kid can be a kid.
T-U-V-W-X.
Learning your ABCs takes practice.
A-B.
Chef Junior, makers of ABC.